Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to TFC episode 20. It's the pre-raid show in readiness for the July raid. As you'll notice, then, we're a couple down this evening. We've lost, Luscious Liam there, with the goo, and Leggy Lucy as well. They're both of them gone off on a little holiday, and I don't think they're going to be here for the weekend either. But did you find out when they're coming back, guys? Any ideas?
I think Tuesday or Wednesday.
All right, so they're going to do a special raid, are they? All right, via iPad or something. Okay, so we've had two bits of information this week, haven't we? We've had the pre-raid information, and obviously we had the update for this week as well. So should we go into the slides, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, just bring it up, and I'll share my slides quickly a second. Is that there?
Yep.
You got it. Okay. Okay, so there we are, TFC episode 20 and July 13th, 2016. So on the first slide then, we'll talk about the Civil Wars. Let's go through the raid event first. So the event briefing, as you can see there, Zoe and Harlock face off once again for the fate of the Forsaken Council. Choose your side, we'll discuss that in a moment. Choose your side, Captain. Civil War. Allegiance begins on the 14th. Okay, so that's obviously tomorrow evening. The event will begin in different worlds every hour until the words are online. I don't need to read the timings. You can see those there. So whichever, obviously, world you're in, that's the corresponding specific start time. Note again, as per normal, relocation will be disabled tomorrow morning, basically. Your friends list will be reduced to 10. That will probably help lag, hopefully, with a bit of luck. But there it says sector threat and the gantry. And the assault targets will be disabled during that event. Does that mean they're going to take the gantries away, or do you think that's just the gantry targets, as in the 91s, do you think?
I'd imagine it'll be the targets, mate, because it'll be raid targets there instead.
Yeah, otherwise people will be hitting the wrong ones, do you think, maybe? Making a mistake and hitting the wrong mega holes?
Yep.
I think so. So that's it. I mean, nothing's really changed. It's the third of the cycle, isn't it? So, we're quite used to that, I think. So choose your side. So after months of hinting that the split within the Forsaken faction, okay, and the time has come for players to side up. Either pick Zoe or pick Harlock. When the players first log in with the event is available, a pop-up will then prompt them to pick a side or a character. So we'll discuss in a second. Choosing the Legion will grant you a 6% offensive damage buff, but reduce your defense by 5%. Choosing the Forsaken Council will grant you a 6% defense buff, but reduce your offensive capability by 5%. Clearly, by just choosing your side, you'll be awarded a faction badge that you can stick on your base. You can't obviously have both, but you can have one or the other for this event. What are your thoughts about those stats, guys?
I'm going Zoe all the way, personally.
You're going Zoe. So looking at it, just. I mean, you're all going Zoe and you're going Apollos, is that right, Gadget?
Yeah, I'll be using my Apollos, yeah, for sure. But I mean, to me, the way I look at it is, if you already have a fleet with really high defenses on it, I think that Zoe's is going to be the better option. If your fleet's maybe a little low on the defensive side, then Harlock's might be a better choice for you. For me, I don't, because it's going to be applied multiplicatively. So that 6% defensive buff for me would not equate to much, because I'm already at 95% on my Apollos. So I'd be lucky if that equated to 1%.
Yeah, so 6% of the 95.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, got you. Yeah.
And I'd much rather have the offensive damage buff, and hopefully that'll help me get the extra odd turret with retargeting, right?
Yeah, that was my goal as well. I must admit, the fact I'm using blades as well, and this time around I got 4 ranked holes as well. They're all scaled up, so I'm expecting that. Yeah, I'm going to go Zoe as well, I think, personally. But you're right. I see the potential of some individuals actually going for the Forsaken side if they've not got those holes.
I'm going to say
Laredo's saying that you could get the badge. You could get 1 badge this month and 1 badge next month.
In the whole raid itself, yeah. Oh, that's quite handy. All right.
Yeah,
So,
that might be what I do. I might go with Zoe this month and then Harlock next month.
you're two-timer.
Right?
I'm gonna go for Forsaken.
Are you, mate?
Yeah.
And what's your motivation behind that? What do you think then? What do we not know that you do?
Nothing. It's just when I started this game, it was for Forsaken, mate. So
I see.
I'm just gonna stick with that. I mean, I've got my R&D complete, so I've got the best fire rate, which I'm going to get. I've got the best damage, which I'm going to get. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's the point. I didn't think about that.
Your R&D doesn't help your damage. It just gives you critical hit chances. So this 6% buff would be a direct buff to the damage that your weapons are doing.
Yeah, I know, but it's just I'm not really fussed, mate. But I was when I first started this game, it was all about Forsaken, so I'm just going to stick with Forsaken, mate.
You just like his haircut, mate. That's what it is.
That's what it is, mate.
It's just got goo. It's got Liam's haircut, hasn't he? What's the consensus there in chat, Gadget? Is there anybody putting in sort of like preferences on the left and right sides?
No, not really.
I'd be interested to see what most people are thinking. That's all. I mean, we'll know straight away because they'll be. I take it when you pick your side, the badge goes onto your base. I guess, is that automatic? Does the radio say anything about that? It'd be interesting to see how many people you could instantly spot it then on who's decided what, wouldn't it? That'd be quite an interesting little stat.
I think there are polls up on multiple different pages and the forums.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go. So choose your side. So unfortunately, you can't just abstain. Okay. This isn't Brexit. You can't not vote. You've got to go with left or you've got to go right. So you shall know. And if you make the mistake, then unfortunately you cannot, as it says on the bottom, you can't switch. So you've got to stick it out right throughout the raid. Right. So the raid goals, as it says there, I mean, there's not a great deal that's changed, I don't think, apart from 1 point. So defeat world map targets and to earn event points, complete A, B, and C sets to earn bonus points for completion. Again, it's a single target this time. They were thinking about doing a different target for the elite, but they've resounded back to the defeat the S level elite target for points. This is a very difficult target for experienced captains only. 3 sets of assault forces will spawn on the world map, A, B, and C sets targets, as will the S level elite assault force. So this time it's level 86 and the level 103 elite targets, which include the mega holes. Was that the same? I thought there was 2 last time, and then it got corrected again, or was it just the 86? Can you remember?
I don't remember. I always hit the big one. So
yeah, I'm pretty much the same as Gadget, mate. I don't know because I just hit the big one. So
yeah, I'm the same. I just cruise around the different sectors and that sort of stuff, looking for the big ships to hit and that sort of stuff. Because if I'm gonna try and do some sort of prep, although it says look, no co-op again for this third set of this format. That the easiest thing to prepare for somebody is the mega hole, isn't it? Because you can leave the coning tower on the ship itself and clear everything else off.
Yeah.
But and I suppose the same for the level 86. But it's a bit of a nurgatory task if you're going to do that. You may as well just go and hit the big one itself. So nothing new really, is there? To be honest.
No, it's pretty much the same, mate.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I'm a little bit disappointed in the points payouts that we're going to get though. I mean, not for me, but for the lower guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, the points payouts are going to be great, but for the lower guys, they're not so impressive.
Yeah, I've got that on the slides in a minute because Andrew prepared the slides again for us, most of it anyway. I just did the last 2 little bits. So as ever, Andrew did an awesome job. I just, I'm a little bit colourblind myself, I think, because I have to bring the colours back down a little bit, whereas Andrew went a bit multicolour swap shop, and it just really hurts my eyes. So apologies, Andrew, just for doing that. Putting things back to a bit of black and white for me, most of my old eyes. Anyway, so here we go then. So here you go, earning points for the event. So there's a C set points. Now, is that the same? That's 40, 50, 60, 70, nearly 80,000 points, then, isn't it, for the C set? B set is what, 3, 4, 5? It's just over 500,000, isn't it, for the B set itself? What's the A set? That's cracking up at about, what, 2.5 million, just over, isn't it? And the good news for those that want to do it quickly, the S bonus elite target is now 4 million points, and isn't that slightly increased compared to last time?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
wasn't it 3.75 million last time or something like that?
Yeah, it's definitely up.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's just going to make things. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if
Oh,
they've increased
Laredo just said in the chat that the badge is awarded as soon as you choose a side.
Super. Right. Okay. It'd be nice if it's dumped on your base as well, because that would really sort of see who's gone left faction, who's gone right faction. But anyway, we'll play it out. So, as it says there, each target's worth a maximum number of points, as noted. Okay, completing a set will award the completion bonus, and there you are. There's all the bonuses and stuff. So, I'm not sure if a set was worth that much last time, but it might have been, to be honest. I didn't hit a set, to be honest, so I'm not really sure. But I don't think there's any increase. To be honest, it's not a bad payout. But then again, when you're doing the 86, it's got a mega hole in it.
Exactly. I mean, for us, it's a great payout. But what about for guys who are grinding C sets?
Yeah, I mean,
you know, I mean, that's a horrible payout. I mean, I would not want to be a guy grinding C sets to get the prizes in this raid. I really wouldn't.
I mean, somebody said last time they had to do something like 730 C sets just to get a tier 4 prize or something stupid like that. It was crazy, you know.
I mean, that's a lot of seat time, man.
Yeah, I mean, and it's great to say, oh, we used to do it in our day and that sort of stuff. But it was a different type of prize system, and there was much less prizes.
And they weren't so bloody expensive.
No. I suppose it's about points versus. I mean, you know, these numbers are all nurgatory because you could just knock 3 zeros off of everything. Get it quite straightforward, couldn't you? Yeah. You know, it's one of those things that people go, oh, it's worth gazillion points. Well, it may be worth 2. You know, it's a bit like scoring difference between sort of like some sports things, isn't it? 2 million points is the same as 2 points. If it's 4 points for the win, you know, and you get 2 points each for the bonus and 2 points for actually hitting the target, it's still the outcome's the same, as long as the prize list comes down to the same equivalent. So anyway, but there we are. So that's it. So top target, 4 million points, all up once you've done both bits. Obviously killed it and then get the bonus as well. So
the uranium payouts just still crap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just notional again, isn't it? And I haven't actually put up the Zoes, but the Zoe situation hasn't changed either. So.
And we've still got to wait till Saturday to get any.
Yeah, there's no change for that. I don't think I didn't do a slide on the Zoe this time because, to be honest, it's nurgatory. You still got to wait till Saturday. You're still going to run out if your R&D is due on Friday, you know, and you still got to sit there then with virtually no uranium apart from what 20 million, isn't it, sort of thing. So, which is what you can get from the prizes themselves. So.
20,000, maybe. Yeah.
Sorry, 20,000. Yeah. So yeah, the points look 10. Yeah, 20 million points gets you 20,000, 30,000, 35, about 35 in total, isn't it? So it's not very much, is it? 36, in fact. So not ideal, but what's it going to get you? One retro, maybe 2 if it's a low level one, that sort of stuff. You're not going to use it for anything else, are you? 20, 30. Well, you could do 1 turret upgrade as well, couldn't you? I suppose you couldn't do much else. So there we go. So that's the points. Moving on. So here we go, the prize list. So a similar system to last time, but one slight adjustment. So we've got tiers 1, 2, and 3. And then we've got the H tier, which is obviously the hull. We've got the W tier, which stands for weapon. And we've got the S tier, which stands for special. Again, though, you've got 2 tables. You've got the left-hand table or the right-hand table. And you can only pick 1 prize from each of the tiers. That doesn't mean you can't jump from left to right, I believe, as long as you've got the prize below it. But ultimately, if you haven't already got an Apollo, you really got a decision to make if you are going to go for the whole, whether you go for something to put in your base or something to continue sort of like working, that sort of stuff. What do you think about the prize pack, guys?
I think it's cheeky they put the Rhino there, mate. It seems they gave it away free, like. So now it's back for like 1.7 mil.
It is a little bit, yeah. Cheeky is probably a good word there, isn't it? To be honest. Yeah. And they're still pushing that blimmin' trident, aren't they? You know, it's okay, but I think with the resistances and buffs of a lot of the hulls these days, I don't think it packs enough punch myself.
The Enforcer's not bad price for the lower end guys, like if they get to that.
Well, because I think most people got a free rhino or a set of rhinos and that sort of stuff. You know, many people got free rhinos and that sort of stuff. You know, if they haven't got an enforcer, they've sort of like sorted out their base a little bit now, and they've got something to do on the water, and they've got something to do in their base, haven't they? Because 1.75 is not too bad. And and obviously there's a launcher there to go with it below, and a fusion charger. I'm quite happy it's that fusion charger for 350. That's the better one, isn't it? To be honest.
Yeah.
Because obviously they could have given the really naff one. So.
I know, it looks like a pretty easy raid for me. I'm going to need 30 million for the prizes and then tokens and shards, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, I spent most of my time just prepping for people last time. Prepping the big ones. The S's, so the elites. So I'll probably end up doing the same. I managed to get quite a few people the Apollo in my guys last time, and I'll probably do the same and get most of them the Vanquisher sort of stuff. Well, not just me, several other guys will now. So. Yeah, but you are pushed obviously down the Apollo line. You are definitely going for Switchblade and that counter extender. But as we all know, the Switchblade hasn't had a much of adjustment to it. It's just that it does definitely work though once your hull is sculpted. But before that, it's still got the same issues, hasn't it? To be honest, Liam's much happier with his fleet now, isn't he? I know that.
Yeah, and I like that they extended the cryo field on the Vanquisher as well. I think that's a really good move that they did that. So now it actually is useful in your base because that compensates for you're losing about 30 if you've got it right up against the land.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, at 45, it was barely not even reaching the center of your channel. Now at 65, it's going to reach past the center of your channel. So it now becomes something that you can bring into play, which I think is a really cool thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some pictures of the holes in a minute. We can talk through some scenarios of that hole because I think it's got multi uses, to be honest. Apart from the fact, clearly, it doesn't drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please don't be mistaken, guys, when you put a big engine on it and find it doesn't go anywhere. But we'll look at that in a second. What do you think? Actually, I was going to change the subject really quickly. What do you think of then putting the hulls before the weapons and specials? Because this is the first, isn't it? This has happened.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really make that much of a difference to me. To be honest with you, I think it's good, really. I mean, for lower guys, maybe not lower, but sort of mid-level guys who are capable of grinding out 15 to 20 million. They might not be able to get everything, but they could get the whole, right? And yeah. Whereas if they had to claim the weapon and the special first, they might not be capable of getting the weapon, the special, and the whole. Right? Do you know what I'm saying? So then they'd be stuck with just the weapon and the special and not getting the hull. So I think it's a good thing that they can get the hull first because that way they don't need to have the weapon and the special. There are other weapons and specials that would be useful with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking the same thing because I think that was the main gripe from last time. You had to get the weapon and special, and then you had to get an Apollo. So then you were talking, 30 million points, weren't you? Whereas this time round, look, I mean, if you can only ever stretch as far as the Vanquisher, if that's where you wanted to go, and you didn't either have time, you didn't have the fleets to get any further, there's a fusion charger there. There is a, if you haven't got the other obviously launchers, but there is a launcher, weapon there.
I do think the antipode should be there instead of the cryo launcher.
I'm surprised it's not. I was hoping it was going to be. And maybe it might be a fallback prize later back in the FM or something, but I do think that needs to come back in.
Do you know what? Honestly, I don't think I've ever used that cryo one at all.
No, no, I don't either. But again, it's better than nothing because obviously if you're going to get an enforcer, you've got to have something to put on it.
Oh yeah.
But actually, we all know it's not the right one to put on it. Yeah. It's it's a notional one. It's good and it's a reasonable price. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's not the best one by far. And it would be nice if the antipod did come back into the FM at say tier 4 or something like that in the next round of FM prizes. But we'll see. Or maybe I know there's a whole raid coming next, so there won't be anything like that coming. So yeah. But there you go, not too bad. So good on you, Kixie. I think the holes coming before the weapons, and then the specials coming last, because the counter missile extender. It's a nice to have, but it's not a must, is it? Do you think it's a must have if you get the Apollo? I don't think it is personally.
No, I don't use it. I've got it, but I don't use it. So you can build an Apollo fleet that's effective without it.
I think that's why they've done it because, to be honest, as long as you've got the hull, you don't need the other two.
Yeah, they're not must haves, are they?
No, they're not at all.
No. Yeah. So me personally, yeah, I'll be going down the right flank there, definitely, without a doubt. Now, it did say clearly that just by owning one of those items in one of those tiers, you can't just jump past the next one. But if you do own both items, the left flank and the right flank items, you would then jump to the next level. And that's actually what happened last raid as well. So just to clarify that one there. But like I say, one prize all the way to the very, very top. Next slide there. So here's the lock store. So let's have a look at the top. We know what's coming in September. We know there's going to be a sub-based raid format coming. I'm not saying every target is going to be for subs, but it's definitely going to have some key targets in it that are sub-related. We've had the previews and we've had a little look at it. So what do you think of the news about the Phantom Tiger Shark coming back in?
I think 30 million points is a lot.
I was just about to say that, mate. I think it's a bit tasty, that, isn't it? So,
if you were hoping to get your hands on a Phantom Tiger Shark and you're like a level 60, you know, you're going to have to find someone to help you, man.
That was an open-ended question, by the way. So it's almost like a teaser. It's almost like the kid in the sweetie shop, and he's just got the right amount of money, but he gets there and it locked 5 minutes ago, and he can't have it. So you're like, oh my God, look at the price. It's that sort of moment. It's like, yeah, wasn't it that price when it first came out? Wasn't it something really, really close to that anyway?
No, I got it the second time around, and it was 30 mil. Was it the second time or first time around? I don't know. But it was 30 mil, like. Yeah,
I was like that. Blimey. I saw that, and when it seemed come out, I was like that. Whew, that's a lot of dosh, But yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, for those that don't have, a lead, sub to go with your other subs, doesn't matter if it's Tiger subs. But if you want one so you can be sneaky and walk around go around the seas as everybody else does, then you're gonna have to work for it. That's all I can say. 30 million points, is an awful lot of points. But and you've got to have unlocked obviously all the other tiers to get to this anyway. So you've got to have got the hull, you've got to have got the special, you've got the weapon and the special. So there's 30 million points, and then you've got to go again. So to get that one item, that's going to be 60 million points. Good luck for that one. For those who haven't got, who can't kill the elite target.
I'm assuming where it says the sticks torch 1. I'm assuming that's 1, but you've got the print, not just.
Yeah, because that one's not a reduced print, is it? It's just the item itself, which is why it's saying it's why it's saying 1. So once you've got that print, you've got it, because it's not a limited item, is it? Whereas the Phantom Tiger is a limited item as well. Although I take it, and Laredo's in the chat there, isn't it? So I take it if I've already got one, does that mean I can have a second one, or not? Because I wasn't very clear on that. Because if I'm gonna have a second one, I can chuck one with the Banshees, which would be quite nice, and I'll do the extra bit of work to get it. Because I've only got obviously the Phantom Nighthawk and the Phantom Tiger Shark, and I haven't got another Phantom of anything, so I wouldn't mind getting the Phantom Tiger Shark to go with it.
Well, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't, mate.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to get the points and then not get it.
Well, I'm pretty sure on the day it'll say redeemable.
Locked or not locked? Yeah, redeemable or not. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. And I'm quite up in the world. I'm in the 400, so I'll be quite late starting. I'm sure probably will be finished by the time I even start. So, so yeah, it's good to see the talks are back in, aren't they? Do you think they're a reasonable price? What's your thoughts on that? Or is it irrelevant because they've got to get 30 million points so they can even open this up? What do you think?
Well, unless you can open it up, mate, it is irrelevant, ain't it? But the price is not bad, but the build times are shocking.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that gets looked at next month myself, I must admit, because still, as soon as you start putting that Tiger Shark, that's a 25-day build, isn't it? Without a doubt. And there are other holes out there.
The max cap for it is still 1, so you can't pick up a second.
Okay, well that's just saved me a lot of points, then, isn't it? Okay, so the max cap, so redeemable is so total ownership is 1 hull. Okay.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
If you've already got one, it just means a cheap, easy raid for you. Right?
So all I got to do is get the shards.
And the tokens.
God, this is okay. All right. I'll be helping out a lot of people. That sounds of it. Then flipping heck.
You know, I wish they'd give more tokens out.
I wish they get more shards. I just need another 4 on top of that, and I'm done for my ghost crawler. But there we go. Yeah, no, yeah. Well, that's the unlock stuff is unlocked anyway, isn't it? So you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, what we got then? We got 10 hours, and then we got a 4. So there's 2 days, 10 hours, and then so 5 days, 10 hours is total, isn't it? Is that right?
Mm.
Yeah. What is kind of sucky about this though, right, is the fact that you know, a lower level they might not be able to look at 30 million points for a Phantom Tiger Shark, but they might want to get some Styx torpedoes. And they can't. And they can't, because unless they can get enough points to even unlock this, they can't even think about getting the Styx torpedoes. Whereas if the Styx torpedoes were accessible, a guy who could grind 6 million points, that might be the only thing he picks up in the raid.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But he, you know, he'd be happy with that, and I really think that's kind of unfair, to be honest with you. Just my opinion.
I'm just wondering if this is like an early release, and then just so those that can get it can start researching early, because that's the bonus of spending money, because you're actually all you're doing is cutting time. That's all you ever do in this game is cut time.
Yeah, but it's like Dave was saying, the way they've done it though is that this locked stores are only going to be available to the bigger end players. Now most bigger end players have got Styx torps, have got Sharon torps, so no one's going to take up that.
That's what I'm saying. The guys who are capable of getting the points
have probably got it
to be able to get this open have probably got everything that's in it already, and the guys who really need the stuff that's in it aren't going to be capable of getting it unlocked on their own, and that just seems kind of backwards to me.
Yeah, and the frustrating thing for me is that obviously these are the torps. Forget their damage. Like, these are the ones with the range, which means I'm going to go in so far to these potential new targets for the sub raids in September, which means you can turn that bit earlier, which means you can get away, you can do a bit less damage, you know. And if you can't get access to these items here, then you're down to B torps, aren't you, and Zeds maybe, which has got the reduced range, which means you've got to get in closer, less time to get away.
Exactly. You know, Sharon or Styx torps are really kind of essential gear for what's coming, as far as I'm concerned. You know, they're the longest range torps that we've currently got, and if you're trying to get prepared for a raid where you're going to need that, you know, and you're a low level and you can't get access to this store, that's kind of putting it's putting a spanner in your works, right? And it's also, you know, to me it seems like that a lot of people who want this, who would get it, are going to end up missing out on it, which I just think is really unfair.
Yeah, and I noticed the price there, it's 5 million, so had it been 4 million or something else, you'd be like, right, I've got my 30, it's one more, you know, guys, I just need help with one more, could somebody prep me an elite, you know, and then I'm done, sort of stuff, and that's not going to be the case, is it, you know, because it's 1 million over that, again, sort of thing, so it's 2 begs, you know, or 2 goes, or 2 lots of smashing your fleet, you know, because I mean, yeah, it's great having a fleet and that stuff, and then they do get it, and then they've got to decide what the heck they're going to do. Whether they're going to build the whole they've just won with its special and its thing, or do they start doing a ridiculously long submarine build, which is, you know, just changing or a lot of the torps on the submarines they've got already, and at the moment it's what, 2.5 days per torpedo, isn't it?
So I don't know. It's long.
Yeah, I mean, we still don't know whether that's coming or when it's coming or anything. You know, I mean, we hope that we're going to get a build time reduction on it, but I mean, there's no guarantee, is there, right, at this stage? And,
no.
and even if we are, there's no guarantee when. So, you know.
Well, they're running out of time. They've only got next month, really, because you've got to give the guys the time to build the damn things, you know, or to exchange. So if these torps are coming now, that build time reduction needs to come next month, quite early on, because if it doesn't, people won't be ready if they haven't got these torps already fitted to their subs. They just won't be ready, because the swappage time is huge, because obviously it's takeoff time plus add-on time, isn't it? But yeah, okay. Shall we move on? Shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know there's plenty of badge collectors out there. So we've got a question mark on one of the badges because we didn't see a picture. I don't know if anybody else did see one. So we know obviously the faction badges. So the Forsaken Council badge, there we go. That's up for siding with Harlock himself, and obviously the Legion badge. Then obviously if you side with Zoe. Now then obviously the harder they fall badge. So defeat 6 obviously of the elite targets, the level S targets. Okay, and you get the harder they fall badge. I haven't seen it. Has anybody actually seen what that looks like?
Nope.
No. Okay. So question mark was what Andrew put up there, and question mark is what it is. Okay. Well, that'll be interesting to see who slaps that on their base within the first hour. But I'm sure some mega coin will be doing that. Okay. So that's the badges. Everyone's going to get at least, as long as you take part in the raid, you at least get 1 badge. So even the lower levels can have something on their base. So that's quite nice for a change. And then we go into the 3 top prizes. Okay. So. Go on, Gadget. What were you saying about this one here? You were saying about armor, not armor, and you know.
Oh, I don't think I'm going to put any armor on mine. I don't think there's any need to really. Like I said, the thing I think is really good is that they extended the cryo field.
Yeah. So I was just looking down. Okay. So we've got the base armor. Yeah, it still sort of threw me this one. You know, even though I've seen it in a preview twice now, sort of stuff. So the base armor, you know, 500,000. Which is good, you know, that sort of stuff. So it negates any point of putting any armor on it with any form of resistance, and almost negates any point of putting any armor in whatsoever. Because I chucked 3 bulk armor on it, and it ended up adding about 19,000, something like that. So it was 519,000. I thought to myself, well, look at the actual fix time now. You know, and I'm rugging through Huggies, like, you know, I thought to myself, I'd be an idiot to put that on, to be honest. And then I looked at the cadmium, you know, which is obviously quite a big, quick build and quite, you know, but then it's 90,000 uranium, you know, and for some people getting 90,000 uranium is hard going, isn't it? So I think I'm with you, mate. I think there's no point putting any armor on this thing, to be honest.
It doesn't need it, man. 500,000 armor points, man.
It's hellish, isn't it?
It don't need it, like. And if you're going to put it on it, then you're just going to add rep time to it. So
yeah, any as what I was saying in the chat, we were talking about this earlier as well. Any special that increases your armor weight is going to make the hull overweight, right? So, for instance,
just like which special was that, mate?
For instance, shielded electronics.
Yeah.
Shielded electronics is going to be 9% total armor weight, which is going to put your hull overweight immediately.
Just that one special with nothing on it.
Yeah, you have to use agility system 4 instead, because that increases your total weight rather than your armor weight.
Yeah, it's a much. Yeah, you have to play with your specials this time. I mean, it's really interesting. I thought this whole, and it's in one of the stats there. Special slots 5. Did you honestly manage to fill up all 5 special slots with something worthwhile?
I did.
You found 5 items. The 5th one's interesting, isn't it? Because you can go either way, depending on what you're gonna put on your weapons and if you're gonna add counters. Because the 5th one is not what people would probably think about putting on.
Yeah, I've got a build that's got 5 specials.
Yeah, but it's not your traditional stuff, is it? Not at all.
And what I really love about it is the weight. Right, I mean the weight is absolutely awesome. I mean I've got a build it's under 5,000 tons.
5,000, yeah, me too. Yeah, I've got one as well. I looked around and I was playing it, you know, and I think this could replace my Aegis in my base for a start, you know, because it's just the staying power, you know, and you know you can put some good counters on this. I mean, look at it's got the where's the counter? I'm looking for it actually. Where's the stats?
The range is 35, mate.
Yeah, built in already. Yeah, 35.
35 range and 75% accuracy.
I mean that's great, isn't it? And then you put a count load of 3 on it or something as well. You know, if you want to, I mean, you probably will because there's not much else to put in those special slots. But actually, that's up there around with the Aegis and the you know, some of the better holes, you know. Well,
with counter load of 3, it gets 85% range and 110% accuracy.
Wow. Is that within retro to R15 or is that
just
flat?
It is. No, that's at rank 0.
Is it?
Yeah, that's according to Huggies at rank 0. That's what you're getting.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Well, that's Well, that is impressive, I have to say. That's good. And like I say, thermal imaging still at 80 there. Okay, we got that. And you were saying the the effect like on the Frosty's gone up, hasn't it? I can't see that stat here. Where is it to?
Yeah, it is. It's right here. It's right in the middle under special abilities. Field of effects hostile, affects ships, resonance trigger, yes, range 65.
Yeah, got you.
Ballistic defense -30, concussive defense -30, explosive defense, radioactive defense, combat speeds, you know what I mean? Extinguishes enemy fire fields. So that's gone up to 65. It was 45.
Yeah, so that's definitely going to go through at least a couple. Yeah, okay, got you. So that's going to get to the middle of the channel now, isn't it? If you've got a single wall in the way, that's going to make a big difference.
And then you've got the 45 range, which is giving you 5.5% projectile speed and a 30% ballistic reload, which is awesome because both the ones that I'm building are going to sit right behind both the gammas in my base. So that's going to help with their ballistic reload.
Yeah. No, I like that. I think the field effect's really good.
I mean, it's going to help with any ship that it sits behind, really, because it's got radioactive reload, penetrative, explosive, concussive. So any ship that's within 45 range that's in your base is going to get that extra reload, which is awesome.
200-bit land tiles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is good actually. I must admit, because we spoke about obviously the Harlock Citadel as well, haven't we? Although I haven't got a slide for that one, I must admit at the moment. But
it's going to be fun ranking.
Speed.
It's going to be fun ranking this whole with a -50%. Oh no, with how slow it is. Where's its combat speed?
Well, there isn't any.
It has no combat speed.
A zip.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun ranking this thing.
It's chucking a gunboat and then wait till it dies.
Yeah.
You know.
With 500,000 armor, that's going to be.
Go make a brew.
Yeah, you might as well just auto it, right?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Just set it going and go do something else.
So that last one about the field effects, that goes right down to concussive reload 30% and all that sort of stuff. That field effect goes right the way down, doesn't it? Explosive reload, penetrative reload, radioactive reload. So
yeah, the smaller field gives you your other ships buffs, and the larger field is debuffs for enemy ships. But it's also a resonance trigger.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So it will trigger the res bat and the resonance capacitor.
You know, it's quite a capable hull, isn't it? To be honest.
Yeah, it is all round. It's like they said. It's a jack of all trades and a master of none. It's not really a niche hull. It's a hull that could probably be used as lots of different things, just not outside your base very well.
And you know what? If you're not that bothered about getting Apollos and that sort of stuff, and you'll get assistance to get this, and you're a low to mid-level player who's only got dock level 10, this is going to be a good hull. Because you can build it full up, can't you? I mean, what did you say on a dock 12 and shipyard 3? You're getting what, 5 and a bit, or just under 5,000 in weight? So if they're getting...
and the repair time on a blank hull is like 2 hours.
Oh, good. So when you put the half slot as well.
So the repair time on an empty hull is 2 hours, which is really, really low considering it's got 500,000 armor points.
Yeah, and they no need to put bulk on it and that sort of stuff. Did you say somewhere?
I still don't know why it's got a cargo stack.
Yeah, it's good, that, isn't it? You know, it's huge as well. I was like,
I'm just going to go around the map at like 0 miles an hour.
Well, you
not just that, but look at the back end of the ship. It looks like it's got 2 bloody jet engines on the back of it, right? So what the hell are they there for if the thing doesn't move?
I'm not sure what they're for, mate. Well, that's a turn thrusters, because it does turn very slowly too. But map speed, you know, it can get around the map because it does 50 map speeds, flat rate, isn't it? So it can, you know, you can launch it, but once you launch it and go into attack, you know, don't put it in a base attack because it's just going to sit on the outside, making it look a complete tit. You know. Did you notice there as well? It says extinguishes fire fields in the notice there.
Yeah, that's the cryo.
Because that's the same effect as the.
That's the frosty field. That's what it's basically got a frosty field.
That's because of people that's put
incendiary fields.
Yeah.
Like me, you mean?
Yeah, that considerably weakens my fleet. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah. I was just thinking the same thing about that. I mean, hang on. See, so long as I was using frosty, I forgot that it did that.
No.
Well, that's a bit of an. Oh God, yeah. I might change my special now on them instead. Well, we'll see. I'll pick my bases a bit more. Yeah. Okay, so that's the whole. I think good for low levels, particularly if you haven't got a your shipyard up to level 3 and your dock's not at level 12.
Yeah, it might be
you can build it, and you're not going to have to worry too much. You can actually have a really good guard.
I think looking at this whole, what it's going to do, I said this a while ago, that I missed the fact that there was no real prepping needed for a lot of bases nowadays, and this whole kind of makes it so that you do need to prep, because, you know, good luck if someone's got 2 or 3 of these in their base. Good luck sitting there with mortars and trying to take them out, right? I mean, you're going to time out before you're going to get into the base, you know. So to me, I think it brings prepping back into the game quite a lot. You know, you're going to need to start thinking a little bit more. You hit a base that's got some gammas, so a citadel or a rhino, you know, that it's got a good guard that's well built, and you've got to start thinking about how you're going to approach it now. You can't just one hit it and drop a rocket and get in.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, right, so what was the old Dock 11 weight? Was it 27,000 tons or something like that, wasn't it?
27.5, I think. Or just
so you could have a Dock 11 and have 5 of these in your base at a level 50 pair.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you've got to get them, mate. As a level.
Yeah, but you've only got to get one, haven't you? You've got to get you just got to get the hull. So you've got to get 15 million points, and someone can help you with that. And there's a level 50 player.
If someone helps you, mate. I mean,
yeah, no, I understand.
Not everybody's like you, mate. You know.
No.
You know, you get all your stuff for your crew, but there's lots of.
Well, not me personally, but yeah.
Yeah, but there's lots of people out there who don't do that.
Mm.
So.
Or who don't know anyone who's going to do that for them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm in a bit of a niche market. I get that. But if somebody, well, there's a question then, right? If you're going to get 15 million points, knowing where we are now in the FM stages and the raid stages, are you going to go for a defensive hull, or are you going to go for an Apollo? Bearing in mind we've got subs coming next. What do you think at this stage? What would you prefer?
Well, I suppose it depends whether you care about your base or not.
Well, that's a fair point.
Right? I mean, if you're one of these guys that doesn't give a crap about your base, then
you've given up on it.
You should get the Apollo. But if you care about your base, I don't know. I think the Apollo's still going to be useful going forward, mate. Because, for instance, I don't know whether it's confirmed or not, but I saw somebody talking in Sector Comms earlier, and they were talking about they'd heard that the mega hulls were going to become the new armadas at some point.
Yeah, I'd heard that as well.
Right? And if that's the case, then my Apollos are going to be extremely useful to me.
They just take an awful long time, won't they?
Yeah, they'll take a long time, but that'd
be really annoying.
I don't know, man. I can do them in under 10 minutes. It's just a little bit more damage. But at the end of the day, that's going to be my way to get uranium. So, Apollos are still very, very useful, and moving forward, I think they're still going to be very, very useful.
Yeah, and I think the longevity is a bit like the old MCX, wasn't it? It went on much longer than you thought it was ever going to last, and it took a massive change in the game to kill that ship off, because we were then fitting it with, launchers, and then we were putting all different things on it, and it was pretty damn versatile. A bit like the Punisher now, isn't it? And I think Apollo's come into, it's the glorified ship to go for at the moment, isn't it? And I think you get a bit of flex out of it. And one thing I've noticed, I mean, obviously going off on a tangent from the raid, is once you're using the Apollos, have you tried going back to a standard fleet and seeing how slow it is? It's pretty annoying. You're like that, oh my god, this thing is taking forever. When you go and take your Punishers or whatever it is and go back in and do your normal FM targets, it's like, look at the speed of this thing going across the water. It's ridiculous. It's just so slow. But that's the multiplicative effect of obviously the speed up of the Apollo.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
okay.
What's the specials then?
Okay, so let's get charged forward. So there we go. So it's the we've got the Cyclone launcher first.
Nice repair.
Yeah, 2 minutes 40. This hull's going to be great to fix, isn't it? It'd be even better if it had some engine speed, and I can see why they've not put engine speed on it, because everybody using it for all sorts of stuff.
Well, you've got to remember as well, you're going to have it in your half repair slot in your dock as well, right?
So that's going to be a minute 20.
All these times are halved if you're running it in your base guard, right?
Mm. So range of 94, and then plus, where is the bonus on the, sorry, go back on the hull. Where's the range bonus for launches? It's here somewhere, isn't it?
It's 10%.
10%. So this makes it about 103, doesn't it, or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it gives you 103.4 so you can still be outranged by Revengers.
Just out revenge. Yeah, I was going to say you can just get outranged.
Again, if you've got any sort of decent Deadeye setup in your base, good luck sitting there with the Revenge and killing this while you're under Deadeye.
Yeah, you're going to get smashed to pieces with your Deadeyes. Yeah, yeah, or the standard missile as well. Yeah. So reload time 12. Obviously, that's without doing anything to it and adding any of the reload capabilities on any of the specials and that sort of stuff. Wall damage, which is irrelevant because it's going to be in a defensive hull and not going to be used for an offensive capability.
Yeah, skull rank, that reload comes down to 1.13.
Does it? You checked that, mate, have you?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right
now. That's fine, isn't it? That's good. Okay. So, yeah, that's reasonable. Especially if you have the darn thing set on a corner somewhere, because then you can just get them all the way around, can't you? So you can get quite a few shots off there. And obviously, it's interesting, it adds to your armor points. I don't think we need to add to armor points, to be honest. It's only 200. It's a notional figure, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Weight's not going to matter because we're not putting any armor on. There's not much else to say, to be honest. Some of those figures, they don't even need to be there, I don't think. I don't think wall damage is even relevant. I don't think building damage is relevant. Unless somebody doesn't have any of the launchers and wants to put this on. Well, I'll be surprised if they do. I must admit, in the preview server, I fitted this to...
Well, I don't know. This looking at this launcher, I can see some people using this on a prep fleet, right? Because of the low building damage and low wall damage. If you've got it on a pretty quick ship, if you've got, I don't know, man, just
fusion cruiser, you mean?
No, say you put it on a Vendetta, right? And you're using the Vendetta as a tank, or you're just trying to take out
that's true.
That high radioactive damage could be dangerous to a lot of ships, and the low building damage and whatnot could actually help you in getting in close enough to use it.
Well, I've seen people fill up Punishers with launchers, and chuck them in as a lead hull, and this could be. I'm not compared to the antipods, it's about the same sort of weight, isn't it? Because obviously a lot of people then don't need to do, extender for their missile, and they just put one of these on instead.
So Laredo just said in chat that it works great as a base prep weapon.
Does it? Yeah, and I can sort of see why. Damage there 10,800 is a pretty good bloody hint, isn't it?
It's a large.
You need to put one on like a ship and just sail down and target stuff like.
That more bloody refits, then, isn't it? Yeah. No, I can see it. But it gives people options, and I really am enjoying the fact that base hitting and base prep and all that sort of stuff is starting to come back into the game. And even I'm starting to take an interest in it, as Gadget knows. I think for the first time in probably a year and a half, I took an interest in my base, of actually where the turrets were and where the weapons were, and because I genuinely haven't. I completely switched to a PvE player, absolutely, and I come up with some right noob questions last time we were on the after show. Because I absolutely, yeah, I know they were, but it's not an area of the game I'd focused on, and I was so out of touch with, the intricacies of setting up and that sort of stuff. I'll openly admit it. It's just I completely overlooked that part of the game. It just didn't interest me at all. I just randomly threw anything in there. And went a bit like when Ren was doing it as well. It's a normal fleet that I go out and do things with, and actually when I finish doing what I was going to do, I'll just shove it in my base.
Well, a lot of people do that. A lot of people don't really care about their base. They've been hit so many times by guys that are 40 levels higher than them that they've just given up with it. And honestly, I suppose it's quite a free way to play. You don't really care about your base. You just get on and repair your dock and go out and carry on going.
Yeah, that's a fair point, especially as it fixes automatically. As long as they actually proper kill it for you, by the time you get back on, most people, it's all fixed, and say, what about your best? You press fix, but your dock's already fixed, so you can just carry on. It's not cost them anything. So, especially for a free coiner, they can still play the game, which was the annoying part for many people. Anyway, so let's go forward to the emissions generator then. I quite like this. What are your thoughts?
I don't see the point of the supercharge, to be honest with you.
No?
Right. Because the shockwave damage on this thing is so low. I don't really see the point to it. It's the main damage in the weapon is what's the killer, right? The 10,000 damage.
The 10,000, yeah.
Right? The multi-shot I can see the point of, because the multi-shot actually increases your damage. Right, so like there's no division of the damage by the salvo. Do you know what I'm saying? it's like the multi-shot of 4 does 10,000 damage, so that's a little over it's a little over 10,000 damage, so it's a little over 2,500 damage per shot. And adding the 2 extra multi-shots to it basically takes your damage up to about 15,000, right?
Yeah,
so it doesn't really handicap you. But I don't see the point to the supercharge or the launcher supercharge personally.
It doesn't quite work the same with antipods, does it? Because their statistics are built differently, you know. So yeah, no, I get your point.
On the antipode, all the damage is in the shockwave, right? I mean, there is quite a lot of damage in the actual shot hitting.
Because you're going for ×6, aren't you? Ideally, that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, but the major damage is in the shockwave, right? But I mean, the other thing I thought is, you know, if you put this on an enforcer with antipodes that was ×6, and you take it to ×6.5.
6.5, yeah, one thing.
Would that be enough to get enforcers that shockwave that they've not been able to get in the past? You know what I mean? Just a thought that occurred to me.
Well, there's a bit of maths for Brian that's at the weekend, and when he comes on, is go, come on, pre the weekend, you know, that sort of stuff. Is do that math. That extra 0.5 is got to make a difference to the evade capability.
Haven't we got?
And we've got some people in chat saying Barrel System 3, but the thing with Barrel System 3 is it only gives a multi-shot bonus of 2. The same way that this does, because it gives a double multi-shot bonus, but one of them only applies to heavy weapons. And
I did that in the preview. I put that on, and I just looked at it and I took it straight off again. I just thought, no, that doesn't make sense.
It's exactly the same bonus. It's a multi-shot bonus of 2, because this isn't a heavy weapon; it's a standard weapon, so it's only going to give you a 2 bonus, which is what this gives you.
And the fact that we're not putting armor on, we don't really care about the weight. It does. I mean, weapon weight. Well, whoopie do. They only weigh less than 400 each, so it doesn't really make a difference, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's the 3 weapons, the 3 prizes, the top ones there. So this was so moving on then to today's release, sort of this week's updates and that sort of stuff. So we've got the build time reductions. So there we go. They've released a series of build time reductions across the launchers. And the one I like particularly...
But again, no antipode.
There's a reason for that. There is a reason, and I looked at that, and I know Liam did question that as well, directly to Reagan, and the answer was, when you look at the build time of the antipode anyway, it's really good. It's about 14 hours or something like that. It's not bad. And seeing as it's the best one, it should be up there, shouldn't it? And actually then only makes it a couple of extra hours compared to the 104N, doesn't it? So I can sort of understand.
That's reasonable, I suppose.
Yeah, because it is the one.
I suppose what they've done, I mean, we always look at stuff through our level eyes, but for mid to low levels, this will actually really help them.
The thing I like, look at the interception system. They've taken a full day off that.
Yeah.
That's a big drop.
That's a good one.
That is
because there you go. I mean, across a fleet of 4 ships, that's 4 days. You've just knocked 4 days off your build straight away for your fleet. That's a cracker. You know, I have to say, I'm impressed with that. You know, we can all say, yeah, we want him having done in seconds, but the point is, a whole day is a whole freaking day. You know, that's build tokens per week.
You know what? That's a point somebody just made in chat. Reavers are back, so are launchers. And you know what? I've got to say, the only time that I ever used a cryo launcher fleet was when the Reavers were out.
The old Reaver targets.
And I had a V2 cryo launcher fleet.
Yeah.
Right. And also I used to use cryo launcher enforcers in there.
Yeah, V2C fleet was good then, wasn't it?
Yeah, mate. So I mean, that might be why you're seeing the cryo launcher offered again in the raid, because if the Reavers are going to be coming back, then that's going to suddenly be useful again.
That's a darn good point. You know, in some respects, I do hope that September raid format, it's not all just for subs, so you can play with some of your older ships and that stuff, and like you say, the V2Cs and those sort of things. They'd be good fun to play with and have them back into your arsenal again.
And the new build time for the cryo launcher is awesome. I mean,
yes.
4 hours, 35 minutes compared to 1 day, 5 hours.
Yeah.
You know, that's over.
If an antipode, actually, then yeah, you may just slap that on, like you're saying, you know, and use that with a ×6 charge, and well, you don't even know about the charge, do you? You just stick it on. And on a normal ship, you can then obviously add, you know, some decent protection and some decent armor as well. And
what used to do really good against the Reavers was 2 enforcers, and you'd have one all antipode and one all cryo launcher.
Yeah.
And you'd use the enforcers because they were so cheap to repair.
Yeah,
right?
and you put one S on it, and the rest of it was all something else, wasn't it? And then
you go in there, one's all antipode, one's all cryo launcher, and you go in there with like a couple of gunboats. Do you know what I mean? Just to trigger the ships, and you just sit there with the enforcers, and the ships would run at you, and you know that was a really good cheap way of doing raids when the Reavers were out.
Mm. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see which way they're going to go. I must admit, it's. I mean, I am looking forward to subs coming back, and I have to say, you know, I'm fortunate that I've got my subs built, and I'm just going to do a couple of tweaks. But you know, I mean, going back to what we said earlier on, we do need to see these time reductions on those. Otherwise, some guys are going to struggle, and we only got a month to prep for that. So, and then we're in September, just as quick as that. So. So there we go. So interception system's a winner, and that sort of stuff. I get why the antipode's not in there because it's at a reasonable build time anyway, and the S has come down massively, which is quite a powerful one to put on as a single weapon, and then top it up with some others because you do get the Billy bonus with that weapon being on there. So not too bad. So we'll go to bug fixes and tuning next. So some of these are quite high level things and issues. So fix an issue where it might be difficult to select an item from the event store. On account not being able to click through the check-in box. Has anybody picked up on that?
No.
No, me either, I must admit. So that must be the event store. Was that the time-limited campaign event store? Is that what they're talking about? I'm not exactly sure. Are they talking about FMs or just talking in general?
I don't know, but the next one I think is awesome.
Yeah. No, I put these in an order, and actually I just put them back in the original order because I like the way it is. So okay, so we don't know about the first one, so let's talk about the second one. So at last, and anybody that's now fitted it to your ship, up yours, okay, because now they've corrected a case, and it's a double good this bug fixing and tuning. So they've corrected a case where the cluster warhead then, as you can see, will no longer be used to modify the release or speed of mortars in the coaxial firestorm. Because what was it doing, Gadget? What was it doing?
It was giving your mortars like a 300% reload. Basically, if you had a Vendetta fleet with cluster warheads on it, it was making it like it was overloading continuously, right? Because every time it fired a shell, it was actually firing 3 shells.
Yeah, because it was using it. Yeah.
It would look like just one block of shells coming across the screen, and your Gales would fire, and it would look like nothing got shot down. Because your Gales were actually shooting down shells, but each shell was actually 3 shells, right?
Yes.
It was a horrible one, and
it was goofed, wasn't it?
And a lot of unscrupulous people ran out and stuck cluster warheads on their Vendetta fleets immediately. Yeah. And now I'm really happy that they've got a refit. They had
fun for a week, but then tie that in with the next one. The Vendetta will no longer be affected by the Harlock Citadel's flagship effect.
Explain that was never meant to happen either.
But put those two together.
Yeah, that was massive.
Which is what hit my base.
While we're on the subject of the Harlock Citadel, the sneaky gits, they've lowered the projectile speed buff on.
So in the preview, what was it?
It was 200% projectile speed and 200% explosive damage. Now it's 100% projectile speed and 200% explosive damage. You know, if you don't believe me, go in game and look at your blueprint in your lab.
Yeah, I'm not going to say nerf, but it is.
They slipped that nerf in, didn't they?
Yeah, because I didn't see any announcement about that, but I noticed it today when looking at the blueprint.
Yeah, it was you that highlighted Gadget earlier on in the pre-show, so yeah. So that has been halved, you know, and I don't know if that was needed or not. I'd probably not, to be honest, because get rid of the Vendetta problem, get rid of the cluster warhead problem, and actually it would probably been okay.
I suppose they did it as well because, like, if you put it in like your base defense as well, it was pretty nuts, mate.
Well, yeah, because you were able to crank it up to 700% reload or something like that. I think I managed to work it out.
Well, I mean, I watched a video of the preview, and the guy's Vendetta fleet got nailed, mate. It just couldn't get out of the bloody way of them.
Yeah, and one of Liam's crew actually typed, you might have seen it on my preview, where he put down, he went, I'm not coming any further because that ship's nuts, basically.
I think it was yours, mate.
Was it? Yeah. And fair dues to him, he was right. He just couldn't get past that one ship. He could kill all the rest of them. That ship was just going mental. You know, it was just crazy fast, you know. Anyway, so next thing then, the limited time offer for the fragments. I think that's got to do with the inventory. You know, you can go in and you can buy sort of fragments, that stuff, and it's giving you like 600 fragments.
Yeah, you have a limit. You have a limit to how many fragments you can have, right?
But they're going to stop that, aren't they now?
Well, no. What it was is you have a limit to how many fragments you can have. And if you were, say, close to that limit and then you tried to buy fragments, it wouldn't overfill your capacity, right?
So you'd lose them.
So you'd lose them. So now what's happening is that if you're close to your capacity and you buy fragments, it will now overfill.
But only that once, won't it? You got to get them back down again, and then if you go back on this, it goes back to normality.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I've never bought fragments, and I never will. So.
No, neither will I. But I suppose for those that
it's not for us, is it? To be honest,
for those that do buy fragments, this is a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then collect the last thing, the grammatical error on the anti-rocket turret description thing there. Somebody I think it might actually be Liam mentioned about that, but there was an error in the descriptor of the anti-rocketeer turret itself. It was saying something that definitely shouldn't have done. And I'm sure someone in the TFC page will be able to bring up the difference. Personally, I can't remember what it said because I've never actually built one myself, being a lazy base builder. Guys, have you any idea what the difference is?
I've got one built, but I haven't got a clue.
Same,
okay.
Mate. I don't know.
Okay, so there's something in the wording that's changed, basically. What has changed, I'm not really sure. Maybe it's the percentages, you know, the 75% or whatever it is, or something like that. Is the radio sort of saying anything in chat there?
No.
Might give us a hint, because I honestly don't know. I've never built one of those turret tops, so.
No.
Okay, and I think that's it. I don't think we've got any more. No, that's it. End show. So, okay, that brings us to an end. On that, have we got any other points you want to bring up?
Not really, mate.
No, I think that's about it. I mean, we've hit the hour, which was quite surprising, and we did it without goo or gel and that sort of stuff. I'll just before we leave then and close, what I'll just say is thanks to all that come in the chat, and thanks for Gadget for keeping an eye on things there. Thanks to the radio for tipping in. It's always good to have a mod on side. I'll say good luck to everybody in the raid. I hope you get what you want and that sort of stuff. Please, if you find any bugs or any glitches and that sort of stuff in the raid, then please post them on our page, and obviously we'll do our best to obviously relay that across to the team themselves. And my personal request from Kick's Eye straight away: please make sure the drop rate for the S targets is enough for the demand, because that was a problem last time.
Yeah, it was big problem.
Yeah, so that needs to be sorted straight away, right from the off, as far as I'm concerned. And it'd be really nice if you could put the Man of Wars out on Thursday as well. But I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I doubt it, mate.
Okay, and if that's everything, we'll say good night, shall we?
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Thanks.
Okay.
Good night.